everyone, and welcome to this week's video. This week I really wanted to play with some gouache again, and I've had this idea for a witchy character that I've wanted to do for a while, and after thumbnailing it I thought it'd be super cute to have a play around with some gouache for some really bold bright colours. And since it's coming towards the end of summer, I thought this would be the perfect time to do the watermelon witch. Now this is an idea I've had for a while. You may have seen it in my sketchbook tour of a watermelon witch with a hamster familiar. If you don't know and you are new to this channel, hi, welcome. I really like designing plant witches with their familiars. Since we already have the watermelon, the kitty that spits seeds in your general direction, I really wanted to do a different type of animal, and I've had this sort of idea of a slice of hamster watermelon that is around with its witch at all times. And since we've had this sort of theme of like summer and foods with some of the witches that I've been doing on this channel lately, I really wanted this sort of fun summery idea before we go into the autumn season. I haven't really been doing much summery art, and I thought this would be a nice way to say goodbye to the summer before we go into the wonderful autumn period. So before I go into commentary and all that jazz, let's talk about the materials used. So I'm using some mixed media paper here, and this is mainly because at the time I wasn't too sure in how I wanted to colour this. I was going to go the marker route, but thought really nicely that the bold colours of gouache would work really well. I'm using some really cheap gouache here. I've not really gotten used to gouache yet, so I'm still in the learning stages of it. This is the Royal Langnickel gouache. I actually picked this up from Amazon at one point. Thought it'd be perfect to play around with, so I could get used to how gouache works. I'm still not used to it. It behaves very differently from acrylics and watercolours, and some of the tips that you guys have been giving me I've been trying to put into action, but I still have this sense of patchiness when it comes to gouache. After putting down my final layers of gouache, I decided to go over certain points with my polychromos pencils to build up certain textures that I wasn't quite achieving with the gouache on its own. This does happen from time to time when I can't quite get a medium to work. I will go over with something that I'm more comfortable with, just to try and save it, so to speak. But the thing I'm really proud of in this illustration overall is the water in the background. I really like the swirls that I've achieved in there, and I think it really adds a really good like a splash to the illustration, so to speak. What I really wanted with this piece was just a lot of action, even though it's just a simple character design with a very simple background. I wanted it to feel like action and a lot of movement is in the piece overall, and I really think that the background adds to that effect. So you can see that I'm making sure that there's lots of curls, lots of eye is drawn to the overall illustration. But I think that the background part with the water is probably the most successful part of this illustration. I'm still not used to gouache. I've used it. This will probably be my 4th, 5th time using it. I've not used it an awful lot, and I just can't. I just still can't get my head around it, but I'm trying, because I think like learning a new piece of art equipment or playing around with different mediums can really change an illustration style that you are going for. This is a lot more graphical than I normally would go for, and it doesn't have as much texture as I normally would. If you're hearing a lot of banging in the background, that is because my cat has decided that she really wants to hear the recording process. Don't you, Bellatrix? Go on. Oh. So pretty much trying to create as much flow as I can with a static character design illustration. Now this is something that I have found that if you want your static character design illustration to stand out a little bit more, you need to add a bit of action to the overall illustration. So if you want a standard character design to look a little bit more actiony, a little bit more flowing, that's down to the posing that you put the character in and the whether or not you add a simple background. Character design is possibly one of my more favourite things to do, and I think that character design is hecking fun to do, and it is possibly one thing that us illustrators end up doing a lot of. And instead of doing standard posing, I sometimes find that always having an illustration flowing, looking like it's moving, makes the illustration look a little bit more fun overall. I really wanted this fun summery feel with lots of bright bold colours, and gouache is a really good way of being able to achieve that. It's not technically lineless illustration because I go over later on and add some lines, but it'd be really interesting to do a very graphical style illustration with this in the future by adding no lines at all. I think some of the areas could have been darkened, especially with the watermelon sections. I wasn't quite successful as I wanted to be. I did go over later on with some Pentel white gel pen and some of the Liquitex white pen as well to get some areas brighter that I wasn't quite able to achieve with the gouache. But overall, I'm pretty happy with it. I think it's always nice to add to the witchy family, but I am ready for the autumn period. I am so ready. I am not very good with warm weather, and this will be perfect to finish off the summer with something bright, colourful, fun, but bring on that nice cool weather so I can finally wear my jumpers again, because summer's been far too warm for me. But some of you have been tagging me in some of your ideas that you have been doing online for different character designs that would be really fun to work on. So one of the things I would really love to do is for you guys to take the same idea and perform it in your own way, draw it out in your own way. So for example, if I gave you the idea of a watermelon witch, what kind of illustration would you produce? I'd be really interested in seeing that. So if you do end up taking the idea of a watermelon witch and producing it in your own way, please tag me in it, because I really would love to see what you do. I really like the idea of a really fun summery character. I also like the idea that when she's not at the beach having fun, that she would wear like really cute flowy outfits, big skirts and big poofy sleeves. I like sort of the idea that she runs a shop on the beach that sells nice cooling drinks. Maybe she has a cousin who sells coconuts, but I like the idea that she and her pet grow watermelons and then they put them into nice, cool, refreshing treats for people by the beach. I thought that would be really, really fun. I really love her as a character design. I really love the hair in particular, considering it has the red front and the green back. But I'd really be interested to see what you guys would do with the same concept. A watermelon witch. If you do, please tag me on Instagram or Twitter and use the hashtag Stay Creative with Sophiralou. I'm officially issuing a challenge, the watermelon witch. Maybe I draw this in your style. I don't know. It'd just be really fun to do some really cool things again. Also, we hit over 50,000 subscribers on this channel, and I am over the moon about it. I really want to do a live stream on YouTube at a future date. So when I get everything ready for that, I certainly will get that all sorted, and you will get an announcement up on the channel when that live stream will be. I just want to make sure that everything's perfect for it and everything's prepared. I kind of want to do maybe some art giveaway during it. Let me know in the comment section down below what you would think would be really, really cool for this live stream. Maybe we design a character together. I don't know. Give me some ideas. I definitely want to do that as like a massive celebration and maybe do some giveaways during that time so that you get something back, because I really do appreciate every single one of you for supporting this channel. It has been such an amazing journey over the last 4 years to have been able to do this, and thank you for putting up with all my experiments, all my ramblings on these videos, and for being here with me while I experiment away and have a lot of fun. I never would have thought 4 years ago that to have such an amazing supportive audience that I do, that allow me to have a lot of fun when drawing. I really want to do some bigger pieces again on this channel. It's been a little bit up in the air lately with my work, but I really want to get back into the swing of things, because I realise how much I really do enjoy drawing. I've had a lot on my plate lately. I recently took over being a DM for my current D&D party, which, trust me, there'll be some story times for those with that D&D party, because oh boy, all you need to know is they are pirates and it has been shenanigans galore. It's been great. If you want to see some of the NPCs I've been designing, feel free to check out on Instagram and Twitter. I've been posting up a lot of art up on there lately, showing off like some of the NPC designs that I've been working on. But if you want to have a video of that, please let me know. I know Dungeons and Dragons isn't exactly everyone's forte, but I've really fallen in love with it over the last few years, and it's become such a staple part of my life now. I've just fallen in love with it, and being a dungeon master has been a lot of fun. I've also had a few updates with personal things, especially with my health and all that, but you know, all is good. I am fantastic, and I am ready to get back into the swing of things, because I've really missed doing art, honestly. So this is a few final looks at the overall piece, and I cannot say, I just really love the background. More than anything, I love that background. There's a lot of improvements that could be done, but you know, gouache is a journey. My art is a journey, and I'll always improve every single time I draw, and that's what you just need to keep saying to yourself. Hope you have all enjoyed this video. Maybe like, comment down below, subscribe if you're new, but as always folks, stay creative.